Hello there folks, and welcome back to another speed paint video. Once again, I have got a Pokemon themed video for you guys because I've just been very excited about Legends ZA, and because I've been playing a lot of that game, I felt very inspired to draw some Mega-Evolved Pokemon. And don't worry, if you're playing the game and you're not done yet, I will not include any of the new Mega Evolutions in this video. These are the ones that have just existed since ORAS, so you don't have to worry about any ZA spoilers when it comes to the Pokemon in this video. But I might allude vaguely to some things that happen in the plot of ZA, so if that's something you don't want to see, you can just skip this video and come back when you're done. But either way, this should be a largely spoiler-free video of some art for Mega Evolutions. These are actually all 4K wallpapers that I made for my Ko-fi shop. So without further ado, let's get into the speed paint. The first one I've got for you guys is one of my friend's favorite Pokemon and favorite Mega Evolution. It's Mega Bayonet. This thing, to me, is a classic. I love Mega Bayonet. I love all of the zippers it's got. I love the sort of glowing effect it has. It has this very funny animation in the Rogue Mega battle in ZA, where it just like unzips the bottom part of its body to reveal its legs. I just thought that was a very funny little animation. It's very fun. It's just such a wonderful Pokemon, and I just love the shapes of this thing. It's so funny how skinny its neck and arms are, but then how chunky the rest of its body is. It really makes a very nice rhythm. This thing really is just built out of numerous teardrop shapes that all go together very well. Banette is a favorite Pokemon of my friend Urklo, who I've mentioned before on the channel. Shout out Urklo for being one of the goats. And I know they used one named Jezebel on their team, and she was a real icon. So I really have a soft spot for Banette because it's one of my friend's favorites. I just think Mega Banette has a lot of very fun and satisfying shapes to draw, and its color palette is also wonderful. I love working with the combination of yellow and pink, and this is just such a fun way to do it. Usually yellow and pink make for such like a gentle, light and bright sort of color palette, but the way it's applied on Banette and the way that it's so spooky makes it more of an ominous, spooky, magical sort of color palette, which I think is pretty cool. It was just a lot of fun rendering this one out and lining it. After all, this one had a lot of lines just because of the nature of all the zippers and such. And I tried to give it sort of a dramatic lighting situation similar to like the dramatic lighting you see in the game when you battle the Mega Evolution Pokemon. And I gave it some special effects, like at the end, my last touches were very like rainbowy, iridescent sort of things to add to that effect, since the Mega Evolved Pokemon in ZA have this wonderful iridescent sort of glow on them. So I thought it would be fun to do something like that, because I thought that would just look really cool. Either way, Mega Banette is definitely a classic in my eyes. It's a really cool Mega Evolution. It's one of my friend's favorites, so I've got a soft spot for it. And it just has such wonderful shapes that make it really fun to draw. So I just had a lot of fun with this one. Next up, we have another one, and it is Mega-Audino. This is such a cute little guy. I remember being baffled back in the days of X and Y that this was the only Gen 5 Mega Pokemon, which thankfully that has changed, although I won't go too in-depth on that to avoid spoilers. But man, Mega-Audino is super cute, and it looks really good in ZA. This little guy is just so charming. I love its like lab coat sort of vibe that it's got going on. It's just so cute. I love that the darkest part of its design is its eyes. It really makes its face stand out quite a bit, especially when it comes to like the character design and stuff. And this color palette, again, was just very fun to work with. Just like with Mega Banette, yellow and pink are just very fun to work with, but the mood on this one could not be more different than the Banette illustration. This one's very light and pastel, very colorful. Honestly, the spiraling shapes and these light color palettes and all of like, I don't know, there's a lot of soft round shapes in here that make this illustration feel like drawing a pastry. And I just thought that was very fun and cute. Mega-Audino kind of does look like a frosted pastry in a way. This one was just fun to do nice, dramatic, warm shadows. It was fun to work with these wonderful, warm colors. And Mega-Audino is just really cute and has, again, very satisfying shapes that echo all throughout its design. So it was just very fun to do, like a nice pastel take on the color palette that Mega Banette uses, but with a different Pokemon with a totally different vibe. Either way, Mega-Audino is super cute. It was definitely like one of the coolest megas from the original set, and I just think it's so charming and honestly pretty underrated. I think this is a very wonderful little mega Pokemon. Next up, we have one of my personal favorites and one that made it onto my team in ZA. It is Mega-Evolved. This guy is just super cool. I'm a big fan of this creature and its big flowing mane and all the little orbs on its tail and on its head. I just think this thing is just so fun. I wanted to play more again with the dramatic lighting. I was kind of inspired by some of the illustrations in the TCG of like the dark or shadow type Pokemon that are like not dark as in dark type, but dark as in like they have like a devious vibe. That was an archetype back in the day in the older TCG. So I was very inspired by like the dramatic high contrast lighting situation in many of those cards for this one, especially because I actually have drawn Dark Ampharos before on the channel. So I was inspired by that a little bit for this one. It's got a lot of high contrast with Ampharos being extremely bright and brilliant on a nice dark background. It's got a nice simple pose where it's just turning its head over its shoulder, and I wanted its mane and tail to feel very flowy and big. Just nice and voluminous like this fluffy little creature should be. Mega-Evolved is just super cool. I have a shiny one on my team, and this thing looks great in pink. I honestly thought about doing the shiny for this set, but I ended up doing all non-shiny Pokemon for this particular set of illustrations. But I think I might do shinies in the future because the shinies for Mega Evolutions look really, really good. So maybe at some point I'll do that. I think that would be a lot of fun. Either way, I just had a lot of fun with the dramatic lighting on this one. Again, it's got a very yellow and pink dominant palette. I swear I did not mean to do that sort of theme when I started on these illustrations, but I just found myself drawn to designs that had those colors and lent themselves to lighting situations that would have that sort of color palette, so it just kind of worked out in that way. I just had a lot of fun with this one. Mega-Evolved, again, one of my favorites. I have one on my team in ZA, and it is just such a cool Pokemon. It's so cool that it gains the Dragon type. I love Pokemon that don't intuitively look like their types, especially some of the rarer types like Dragon. So I just think this thing is so cool. It's got such cute, funny little horns that look like, I don't know, not to say it again, but like a pastry. I guess it's like the curly Q and the layer sort of vibe. I don't know, there's something very baked good about the way that these horns on its head are shaped. Either way, Ampharos is definitely a favorite of mine. It's super cute, and it was very fun to make like this dramatic sort of illustration for it. Last up, we have another Dragon-type Mega, and that is Mega Altaria. This is the first one that's not just pink and yellow, so we've got a different color palette going on, but the lighting situation is pretty pink and yellow. Mega Altaria is just so neat, and it's very fun to draw because it's so loosey-goosey with its shapes because it is predominantly just the cloud-like feathers that are all over its body. So you can really mold this thing to fit pretty much any composition. And the shading situation that's going on in the official render with its wings, like those clouds, they have these really cool colorful shadows with like this pink highlight on the bottom. I definitely wanted to replicate that in my illustration here because I thought that was super cool looking, and it makes it feel very luminous and like real clouds. The way that they're like translucent and let light partially through, but still cast a shadow. It's so cool. Clouds are just a very fun thing for me to draw. I'm always raving about how much I love drawing them, and Mega Altaria is like a perfect excuse to combine two of my favorite subjects, weird creatures and clouds. And I made this bird so chunky in this illustration. I feel like it looks quite rotund and fat in its mega form, but I think that adds to the charm. Like, this big chunky bird is being held aloft in the sky by these wonderful clouds. It's just so cool and cute. I've actually never used a Mega Altaria, even back in like ORAS, but I really think I should. I think it's so cool. I'm surprised we don't have more Dragon Fairy Pokemon. I think this is literally the only one, and it's only that temporarily when it's Mega Evolved, so I don't know. There's just something pretty cool about Mega Altaria, and I would love to see more Dragon Fairy Pokemon in the future because it's a really cool type combination, and I'd like to see what other designs Pokemon will come up with for it. Maybe I'll have to come up with my own someday. I think that would be a lot of fun. Either way, I just had fun with the lighting situation on this one, rendering out these clouds a little bit, and just making this a very fun, sort of heavenly, brink of dawn type illustration, and I just had a lot of fun with it. And with that, that is all that I've got for you guys today, so thank you all so much for watching. If you like these illustrations, you can actually get them for free on my Ko-fi shop as a wallpaper pack. So if you want to see them in nice high res and use them as a desktop wallpaper or an iPad wallpaper or whatever, they are available over there for free, but if you want to throw me a tip, I'd greatly appreciate that too. Speaking of Ko-fi, thank you by the way to my Ko-fi members for supporting the channel. With my Ko-fi members, it makes my life a little bit more stable, helps me cover my bills and various expenses, and it helps me live my dream of trying to make art into my main living. So thank you again to my Ko-fi supporters for helping make that happen. If you want to join them, go check out my Ko-fi page. Like I said before, I've got my shop on there, which has lots of wonderful downloadable things like my fake Tober zine, my wallpaper packs, tabletop RPG tokens, and more. I've also got commissions open if you're interested in that, and you can support me monthly to appear in the credits of my videos. If you'd like to support me but get some physical merch out of it, I've got some very exciting news. I'm going to be launching a Kickstarter on November 21st. This is Cryptid Charms, where I'm going to be making some, well, charms of various cryptids. This set will have 3 designs to start, but backers can back for $100 to add another cryptid to the lineup. So if this set is missing your favorite cryptid right now, maybe you can request one if you would like to back at the higher tier, or you can just get one of the original 3, being Bigfoot, Mothman, or Nessie. This project launches on November 21st, and it's only on Kickstarter, so I recommend going to follow the project so you don't miss the launch. I really hope to see you there. And with that, that is everything that I've got for you guys today, so thank you all so much for watching. I hope to see you guys again next week with another art video. And in the meantime, why don't you guys go out there and make some art?